Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In the Yard Podcast with your hosts, Collin and Braeden Cox. As we record here on Friday, October 24th, game one of the World Series is right around the corner in a couple hours here. I think game starts at 8, right, Bray?
Yep.
8 o'clock, first pitch. Get Savage versus Blake Snell. It's going to be fireworks, or will be a pitching matchup. We'll have to see. But yeah, Bray and I are going to give you our little reaction to the the CS series. Dodgers kind of took care of business against the Brewers in a 4-0 sweep. And then the AL side of things was a little bit closer, a lot more fun. And then Blue Jays beat the Mariners in 7 after going down 2-0. They had to win 5 or 4 of their last 5 to advance, and they did. They got the job done. But yeah, Brandon are going to give you our little reactions and then World Series preview right here in the yard. So stay tuned for that, Bray. How you feeling? What's your excitement level on a scale of 1 to 10 for the World Series? Honest answer.
I mean, I mean, the Blue Jays are a fun, I guess, offensive team to watch, and the Dodgers are the Dodgers, right? So, I mean, I'm excited because it's the World Series, but I'm not obviously as a Yankee fan and as of, or I guess everyone who isn't a Blue Jays fan or Dodgers fan probably feels the same way. It's like, okay, like I guess this is cool. I guess there are a couple storylines, obviously Vladdy, like that's a cool story for him. But and what I've been hearing all week is, well, remember the Shohei flight to Toronto when he was making his decision and
Yeah.
before eventually signing with the Dodgers. And then there was like that like 6 hour period we were all like, oh my God, he's gonna go to the Toronto Blue Jays. But then obviously ended up signing with the Dodgers. Probably was the right call. I'm sure he'll say the same thing. And then I even saw stuff about Roki Sasaki was like basically between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays as well, and ultimately
Yeah.
went with the Blue Jays. Likely because
The Dodgers, I mean.
Shohei Ohtani, yeah, the Dodgers, yeah. Um, Likely because Shohei Ohtani was gonna be there. Um, you know, so I mean, yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting because the Dodgers have the chance to do something that we haven't seen since our Yanks did it, like when we were infants, where we've got back-to-back World Series champions. And the Blue Jays have something, special to prove too. I mean, they haven't been in this spot since '93.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking, 30 plus years this team's had a drought. So I mean, there's always history to be made regardless. It's the World Series. So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
excited just because of that. But obviously not the matchup. I don't think you or I would have, preferred
Yeah.
in this case. I think we would have
Yeah.
preferred Seattle or
I think
Milwaukee.
I think this is a good matchup for the sport of baseball, like as
Yeah.
a whole. But for Yankees fans in particular, I think it sucks. You know what
Oh,
I
I
mean?
mean,
Like, I think the
yeah,
Yankees fans have the worst like rooting interest. Like, this is the matchup that the rooting interest would be the worst, and because obviously Blue Jays division rival knocked the Yanks out in the DS, um,
yeah.
and then LA Dodgers they beat the Yankees in the World Series last year. So it's like it's tough rooting interest. But I do obviously I'm still going to tune in. But I think I guess the good thing about not really having a rooting interest is you kind of just enjoy it and just
You
watch.
don't have to stress over it like we
But
were last year at this time.
yeah, but Braden, if I had to say who I'd want to win, I'd have to lean the Dodgers, right? Like you're never gonna root for a division rival, especially the team that knocked you out, especially the team that celebrates like they won the World Series every time they beat the Yankees, right? Um, so yeah, so if I had to choose, I think I'm leaning Dodgers, but not by much. I mean, but I think just like the fact that the Jays are a division rival, like you can't root for them. I'm
Yeah,
not
I mean
rooting for I'm
that's
not rooting for either side, but I've had to lean one way.
yeah, I mean that's easy for me. It's the Dodgers, right? I hope the
Yeah.
Dodgers smoke them, right? Like, and I hate to be like that, right? But I can't, you know, with good intention root for
Yeah.
the Blue Jays and that storyline because, you know, and I hate to make it about the Yankees and it makes us sound so selfish, right? And I don't want
Yeah.
to
I mean,
be
we're Yankees fans. We
fans,
can say what we want
but
here.
yeah, but like it's the same in reverse, right? If you're a Padres fan, I'm sure you are not rooting
Yeah.
for the Dodgers to go back
No,
to
it's
back
it's
because
it's the
yeah, I
division
mean,
rival. Like, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I get that there's storylines here, right? I don't think anybody like you know, hates a lot of the Blue Jays players, right? I don't think that there's anybody that's just like truly unlikable there, right? So it's hard to
George
like see
Springer.
them from that.
George Springer
Maybe
ring a
George
bell?
Springer, right? That's I was gonna say George Springer and who?
Yeah. No, I said does George Springer ring a bell?
Yeah, I mean, of
Yeah.
course him, right? But
But yeah,
like,
I could see like everyone else. Like you really can't hate any of those guys.
yeah, I mean, like, it's just for the Red Sox, we'd be having a completely different conversation, right? But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm excited because it's baseball, and I'm excited at, it feels like that these teams are both kind of playing their best ball right now. Um,
Yeah.
so it's not like one team, one team I think is the betting odds favorite, right? But I think that the other team probably has a better shot than what people are willing to give them because of what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but
Yeah. Real quick, do you want to go over the NLCS series? I mean, I just
no,
have one thing
not
I want to
really.
say. I just have one thing I want to say. Like, I just think the Brewers went away from their brand of baseball that got them to the world to the CS in the first place. Like they kind of, I know the Dodgers are good. I know they have a lot of firepower. I know they make it tougher for teams, but it just seemed like the Brewers like didn't have like the timely hits. They didn't have the stolen bases. They didn't have like the small ball that we saw all year. I don't know if it's because they were like kind of trailing most of this series, why they went away from it. But I just don't like how it seemed like they went away from their brand of baseball that got them there in the first place. Um, but I mean, I think it would have been an upset if the Brewers did win, but like they didn't really make it close at all, except for like game two, I think. But
Game one was 2-1.
okay, maybe I'm thinking of game one then.
Yeah, game one was 2-1. Game two was 5-1. Game
Yeah, that's
three
what I've been thinking of game
three to
one then.
one. Game four was 5-1. So they scored 1 run per game. You're not going to win. Doesn't matter who you're
Yeah,
playing. You're not going to win a
yeah,
series
that's what I
scoring one
mean.
run.
Like, yeah, credit to the Dodgers pitching, obviously, but I thought the Brewers would be the team that be able to like score manufacture runs
Yeah,
against a good staff like the Dodgers. But credit to
put
the
pressure on
Dodgers
them.
to the pitching there. But that's all I gotta
Yeah,
say
I
on
mean,
that one. I mean, it wasn't
yeah,
really
I mean,
close.
I don't think that there's real.
Shohei had that historic 3 homer, 6 innings pitch game. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I mean, there really isn't even too much to say. I picked the Brewers, right? And I told you after, I think it was some sort of like reverse jinx that I was kind of going for. It's like, oh, well, I'll pick the Brewers because everyone's going to pick the Dodgers. But if I pick the Brewers, then everybody else picking the other side, it'll help my chances. But that obviously wasn't the
yeah,
case. Their best shot was in game one, right? It felt like the life got sucked out of the team in game one, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, Blake Snell dominated them,
that was
right?
the Bryce
That was,
Terang strikeout, right, to end it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah. And
that's
then
the only
when they
game I
had
was
the bases,
particularly close. Yeah,
yeah, and they had the bases loaded. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like you said, I mean, there's not much to even say. Credit to the Dodgers. I mean, Snell was nails. Yamamoto was nail. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. No, I
people
credit to
talk
the
about
pitching.
how good people talk about how good of a game Blake Snell did, and Yamamoto had a complete game, didn't he? Didn't he?
Um,
Wasn't game two like
yeah,
a
no, he went one run in nine. Yeah,
yeah,
that
like and
game
no one's
two.
even talking. He had 3 hits
Yeah,
over 9 innings.
yeah.
You
And
know what I mean?
I think that one run is a leadoff home run, and then he didn't let up a run after that.
Yep.
Does that sound right?
So, something like that. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think that was game two.
yeah, that was
Um,
game two. But
but
that's all I gotta
yeah, I
say.
mean, all I gotta say is credit to the Dodgers. They
Yeah.
earned it. They've been off for a week, so they're healthy. They get full rotation. It's not like they just played or anything like that. So
All right, let's move on to the ALCS. This one was a little more competitive. Uh, Mariners went up 2-0 going back to Seattle. Man, we thought it was in the Bucks. We said, "Oh my God, the Mariners are here." Um, Blue Jays come back and win games 3 and 4. Mariners take game 5, and then Blue Jays win game 6 and 7. That was a roller coaster of a series. I think that was one of the best series we've had in a while. Game 7 was great. Most of the games are great. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to say disappointed in the Mariners, but it just feels like they had it, right? It feels like they were up 2-0 going back home. They're like, it's going to be tough for the Jays to come back. But, again, credit to the Jays for to turning it back on. They had to win 4 of the last 5 games to win this series. And then that's exactly what they did. And then 1-7 ultimately on the George Springer home run. But yeah, Bray, give me your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I mean it's super super tough if you're a Mariners fan, obviously, because you won the first two on the road, and I even like kind of told myself I was like, okay, like even if you lose a game or two in Seattle, obviously not the ideal circumstances, right? But if you go back to Toronto, like you've done this, like you've
Yep.
gone in there and you've done it. So like game six, right um after Suarez hit the grand slam to kind of slam the door on him, you could say, right, to make it 3-2. I was like, this team is going to win one of these games in Toronto. I was like, the momentum's behind them now. Like, yes, I
Yeah.
know Toronto won the first two, but now they're up 3-2. They just had probably the biggest moment in Mariners baseball history happen. Like, they're going to go to Toronto and win one of these games, right? And they got shut down in game six, right? And then it felt like that they kind of had the game under control in this in what the seventh inning. I saw something that they had like an 88% chance of winning going in or prior to the George Springer at bat, obviously where
In
he
game seven, you mean?
in game seven. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
like an 88 or 89% chance of winning the game. Um, because obviously, the bullpens had, so much struggled, um, throughout the series and, overall. But I mean, as soon as Springer hit that, I was like, it's over. I was
Yep.
like, it just sucks the life out of the team because it's like you make that one mistake and it's I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, the same thing as the Dodgers. I mean, credit to them. I mean, their backs were against the wall. I mean, not
Yeah.
many teams are going to go down 0-2, have to go on the road and end up winning the series. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't really happen like that because, you know, home field. And I feel like particularly in Seattle, like that was a legit crowd. You know what I mean? Like you
Hmm.
you you could hear it. I mean, when Suarez hit that grand slam, there was some audio out there of like no broadcast, no nothing, just a crowd reaction, and it's even through the phone, it's like
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
So I
I
think I
mean,
think home field does did play advantage in this
yeah.
series, but I mean,
I think I never really counted out the Blue Jays once they even when they were down 2-0 and 3-2. I never like said, okay, yeah, Blue Jays are cooked. I like the way it was going for the Mariners.
yeah,
Obviously, they have a huge advantage going up 2-0 going back home, but I was like, I'm still not counting these. If any team could come back from 3-0, I would say that the Blue Jays could do it, and they kind of like proved me right there. Like they just never backed down. I feel like they kind of played better when they had nothing to lose, right? But yeah, I think I think the Blue Jays are roster wise the better team,
yeah,
especially offensively. Um, it's just like when you look at the Blue Jays 1 through 9, like the way they're all playing, it everything's just clicking for them,
yeah.
offensively and even pitching wise too. So they were just tough to beat, and like I said, um, Cal Raleigh had that big game tying. Was it the game tying or game or go ahead home run in game seven?
I think that one tied it
Tied it, and
because
then
Naylor singled in the first, and then the Blue Jays fought back, and then no, it tacked on an insurance run, right? Because
okay,
Julio hit a home run in the third to
right,
make it 2-1, and then
right,
Cal hit another one in the
okay,
fifth to make it 3-1, and then George
okay,
Springer hit a 3-run shot to take the
yeah,
lead.
yeah. All right, but we have 9 minutes here, but yeah, I just have one. I said I was going to ask you a question,
Yeah.
um, during the pod. Cal Raleigh, 65 home runs, including the regular season and postseason, most in AL history. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, I mean it's 65 home runs. That's a lot
Yeah.
of home runs. I mean, kudos to him.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't even really have too much to say. I mean, that's really impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Especially for a catcher. So yeah, it totally means
Yeah.
something. Um, if this is going to turn into an MVP conversation, I mean, it depends how much you want to, how many eggs you want to lay in the postseason basket,
Yeah. No,
right?
uh I believe the polling's already in for MVP. Like it ends in the regular
Like
season. They do.
they've already voted kind
Yeah.
of deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends how much you care about, home runs versus on base percentage. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because if you're
Yeah.
only looking at home runs, then sure, Cal
Mm,
Riley. But if you're only looking, or if you're going to look at efficiency overall, it's Judge.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I
I'm not really
mean,
upset either way.
yeah. I mean, I kind of wish it was just a tie. Like, I'm kind of upset that he beat out Judge. Like not in a bad way. I'm just jealous. I know a lot of people are saying like it doesn't matter, like they can't count postseasons, but it counts for something. Like in a single calendar year, including postseason, he has the most in AL history. So, like you said, good for him. I wish it
Yeah, I
was.
mean
I wish
he
it was still Judge. Like that'd be cool. It'd be cool if Judge tied it. But if you ask any of these guys what they care about, they'd say it doesn't matter. We didn't win the World Series, right? So at the end of the day, I think that's all that really matters to them. I think that's what all that should really matter to us too. So
so Cal hit 65, right? But then he played what, five postseason games against Detroit and then seven against Toronto. So that means he played what, 174 games, right?
I mean, yeah, I don't know
Approximately,
how many he like
right?
sat.
And
Yeah, but
how many did Judge hit in 22? He had
64,
six.
including the postseason.
And how many postseason games did he play?
So I think
Right.
they went to five against the Guardians, and then they got swept by Houston in four.
So nine. So Cal hit one more home run, but played three extra games. At
Yeah,
least,
but
obviously there were
I'm
days
not
off
looking
in
at it
between,
like
but I'm
that.
saying, no, I'm not. But that's just, where
Yeah,
my mind wanders when we include the postseason. You want to
yeah,
compare it to Judge. You know what I
right.
mean? Cal, yes, hit one more, but had more games to do it, right?
Yeah,
Um, but yeah.
but yeah. All right, we
Oh, go
got
ahead.
about 5 minutes here, but you want to get to the preview? Anything else to add for the CS?
No, and I
Besides, a
think
good
our
job, Toronto, I
preview.
guess.
I don't know exactly where you're gonna land. I'm kind of sort of think I know where you're gonna go with this, but I don't think it's gonna take too long to do our preview here.
I mean, I think I obviously the Dodgers are favored. I haven't looked, but I would assume they are, right? Or is it
Yeah.
Toronto since they're home?
No,
Technically,
it's that. Yeah, yeah.
I
Even
think
like the
I
Dodgers are favored tonight.
I think the Blue Jays are going to give. I think they're going to make it closer than people think. I think people think, oh, the Dodgers are going to roll them. I really think this game goes at least six, or the series goes at least 6 games. I think the Blue Jays have like they just had that fire, like kind of like nothing to lose, especially as the underdogs, like we saw them in Seattle.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I really like the Blue Jays. To me, like this one's a coin flip. I really think could go either way. Like I said before, I'm kind of leaning Dodgers just because of the division rival thing. But but yeah, I think I don't really I don't really have like a set team who I think is going to win. Like, but if I had to say, I think the Dodgers pitching is just that good. I think they probably win in seven. I'm going Dodgers in seven, if I had to say.
Sure. Sure. I also got the Dodgers in 5 or 6.
Wow.
I
So
think there's.
you don't think it's going to be
I think there's.
close?
I think their starting pitching's too elite.
That's
I
fair.
think the only thing not going for the Dodgers right now is, and we can sit here and argue this, right? But Rust versus, or
Yeah.
not Rust. You know what I mean? They haven't played for a week,
Yeah. I
right? The
mean,
Blue Jays just
I
played three
think
days ago.
that I
How
think
much
the
do you take
narrative's
that
put
into
to
effect?
bed. I think that narrative's put to bed now because we saw these 2 years in a row, the one seed from each side has made to the World Series. Actually, no, the Dodgers weren't the one seed this year, were they?
Yeah, they played a wild card.
Never
So
mind. So maybe it's not. Maybe the
depends
narrative's
how
not
much
put to bed quite yet. But
depends how much you care about that, right?
yeah,
But I look at it, I'm like, okay, game one, two, three, and four, right? Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Otani, right? I think that
yeah,
you can make an argument maybe for Gosman, but I think that the Dodgers have the starting pitching advantage in every single one of those games,
hmm
right? And by the time you get to a game five and game six, maybe you have some sort of bullpen game or somebody else pitches. But for the most part, Snell will probably be available. Um, and Dave Roberts trusts these guys to go until the eighth inning, right?
yeah,
I don't know if Dan Snyder is going to be willing to keep you Savage out there for 8 innings if he's rolling. You know what I mean?
right.
He might get a runner on in the sixth or seventh that might be willing to pull the plug on it. Both teams kind of have a mid to me bullpen, right? Sasaki's a cool story for them, but like I think it's going to come down to the pitching, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, you got to hit the ball. You got to, that's how you
yeah.
score runs and win the
I
game, right?
think
But
I think if the Jays get on the Dodgers pitching early and they take care of business
if
game one, like obviously if, but you know,
We
think
haven't seen
I
a
think
team
it's gonna be
do it
close
yet.
to a new thing. And also, like, so what would you say the Blue Jays have to do to beat the Dodgers?
Score a lot of runs. Get after Snell, get after Yamamoto, get after Glasnow, get after Otani early. Get him out of the game before the fourth inning.
Yeah,
And you
but the
can win
Blue
this.
Jays offense right now is arguably the best that the Dodgers pitching has faced all postseason. Like it seems like they just clicked.
There. I
I
mean,
think, and the only thing is like the
I
Dodgers do
mean,
have the experience factor too.
Vladdy's probably the hottest hitter in baseball right now, right? He's
Yeah,
batting like
and
four or
Springer, like
something.
Vladdy and Springer are both hot. Like there's no one on the Dodgers that are like crazy hot offensively. I think their pitching has kind of carried them this far, right? But besides Otani's that 3 home run game, but like there's no one else that's really like really going off offensively like you see in the Blue Jays. But I know it's going to be interesting how they handle the Dodgers starting pitching.
You
Like,
know what? I'll change my thing and I'll block. You said Dodgers in 7. I'm gonna go Dodgers in 6 purely because the first 2 games are in Toronto, the next 3 are in
yeah,
LA, and then game
and
six and
dude,
seven will be
Toronto's going to be
Toronto.
rocking, bro. Toronto,
But the
Rogers
but
Center is going to be rocking tonight.
the Dodgers are the Dodgers always clinch it on the road, right? I mean, I guess they did it in against Philly, and they did it against the Brewers. So maybe I'm talking about nothing here, right?
Yeah,
But
you
they
are,
clinched it
and they were
last
home
year.
against the Reds too.
They were home against the
Oh,
Reds, but last year they clinched the World Series
only
as
time they
well.
clinched it last year was when they freaking beat the Yanks in the Bronx. I think that's what you're thinking of. That's fair though. I mean, if you're looking at World Series strictly, then yeah, that's correct.
I just think the starting pitching, like if I mean if you get
Yeah,
after
no,
any
I
of
agree.
their starting pitchers early,
Yeah,
it can get ugly, right? But we'll
yeah,
see.
it's gonna be interesting just to see like how it's like a firepower offense versus a firepower pitching. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Let us know who you think is gonna be winning the World Series and in how many games. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
See you guys.
See you.
Go Yanks.
Go Yanks next year. Bryce to the Yanks? Bryce to the
Oh,
Bronx?
I don't know, man.
We'll have off season
That
discussions.
will
We'll
be
have to.
that will be an
Yeah.
interesting conversation. So will Trent, so will Volpe.
Yeah.
I guess
There's a
so will
lot of off
Cody. Tech.
season. Lockout 2027.
The
What's that
Dodgers
looking
win this
like?
series. If the Dodgers win this series in 4, it might be.
Yeah.